What's up, YouTube? It's Australia Duel Masters here. We're currently at Grand J Games, the hub for Duel Masters in Australia. And today I have Yami Michael with me, and we're going to be reviewing his Fire, Nature, Water Aggro deck. So this deck is one that you'll actually find in one of our Duel Day videos, where Yami Michael faced off against the Fire, Nature, Rush.
Against Dean, yep.
Against Dean, yes. So how did you feel that matchup went, Michael? Were you happy with the deck?
It was a very tense matchup just due to how fast the Fire Nature is.
You can never really feel safe against it.
Yeah, you never feel safe against it, even with full control, because they've just got all that blocker removal anyway.
So this deck runs 15 Fire, 15 Water, and 10 Nature. With the Fire, we'll start with the Fire. What can you tell us about the speed attackers in the deck, Michael?
Normally, Pyrofighter Magnus would be preferable over Rickaboo, just due to the bigger size and also kind of being safe from most removal being returned back to your hand. However, due to the Snip Strikers, I actually tried to use more Rickaboo just because of its field presence and staying on the battle zone. Sometimes you might not always attack with it, but just to allow Snip Striker to attack again and get over the other usual two-turn plays that might occur either in the rush matchup or against control, just letting it attack is usually preferable. While initially you want your fire mana straight away because you hope for the turn 1 Braid Claw and turn 2 Snip Strikers. Once you've on turn 2, turn 3, you hopefully want to put shield triggers in as soon as possible. Preferably Snare and Surfer, but sometimes if you have to, either another copy of Mana Nexus to chain themselves later on, and sometimes even Spiral Gate. And also, during those first initial turns, you should be watching your opponent's mana zone closely to see the matchup, and then dump any high cost cards that may not be able to play. Like against the Fire Nature Rush, you would see in early turns I would really quickly be dropping every Corral and Twin Cannon as soon as they were drawn. Due to the constant field presence you have with the deck, even though some creatures might feel on the smaller side with Rickaboo and Bronze Arm or even Hulkus, you can easily go from the turn 3 Bronze Arm to a turn 4 Corral just to remove any blocker or other problematic creature they might have, while still being able to attack through shields and hopefully hopefully get a turn 5 win. Due to availability issues, I initially used a copy of Energy Stream instead of a 4th Hulkus, and the board presence is definitely wanted. So later on, a 4th Hulkus was of course added.
It's definitely an important switch.
Yeah, it's just an important switch to have, especially if later on you want to change the finishers of Twin Cannon, which might not always get to be played with not a playset, but half a playset of Crystal Paladins, because you do have a decent amount of liquid people with both 4 Hulkus and Surfer, and
you can YOLO it.
Yeah, YOLO all the way. It clears the field. It's essentially pseudo unblockable.
Yep.
And it just gets there. And can always be put in mana if need be.
It also has a good... It also is stronger as a finisher against slower decks too. They might try to block wall you, right?
Yeah. Since Twin Cannon may not always get there...
Never.
It once. Okay. Replacing the Twin Cannon with Paladin does lower the fire count a little bit, which may hurt Deadly Fighter Braid Claw's turn 1 availability. Every time you could alter a card such as maybe Corel or potentially even Snare to add another Rickaboo, Magnus, and add Comet Missiles if you have them.
How would you feel about dropping 1 or 2 Spiral Gate as well?
I think each game... No, I think you always want the Spiral Gate. It's just your cheapest removal, and especially against decks that Evolution you can completely remove them and slow them down even 2 turns.
It hurts. It really hurts. Especially that mana count for your opponent.
Yeah.
In terms of the count of 11 to hit your turn 3 cast.
Okay, so yeah, if you've... so you're going to the bronze arm line, not
Yep.
the red line. Okay.
Would you consider adding one more nature card or adjusting the Civ counts to get more consistent, like Deadly Fighter, Braid Core, Snip Striker, and Bronze Arms?
If you feel if you feel that the nature count is a little too low for your liking, just to automatically always get bronze arm for turn 3, you could consider changing Krill here for other options for just a bit of more nature, with either an option such as Gaunter, Wind Axe, or even a Quixotic, just for more early aggro plays that fit the deck style.
So the issue with these is well, obviously everything past set 6 is it actually costs money to get, and you have to find it.
Yes.
So
Okay. Yeah.
would you go for cheaper options to keep it with like the budget deck identity with stuff like Poisonous Mushroom, or even like Torcon?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, Torcon was considered actually. I even brought Kamikaze as well because I could do that. Oh, Mushroom, no. That's why it's good.
We didn't like the Poisonous Mushroom.
Yeah.
Because it just constricted your turn 3 play to
Always be Hulkus.
Yeah.
And you don't always reach Hulkus. And by that turn, you simply have no hand, and that is not what you want to be doing when you want to still be playing creatures.
Yep.
So now just re-say all that.
No, that's perfect. We're keeping that in.
Okay. Just due to the budgetary options that or at least that I personally am kind of stuck behind currently, I don't have many cards past DMO5 or even really 6. So I chose not to use the multicolored cards that have been placed here previously. But overall, the deck is actually quite the budget option, because other than the Crystal Paladins as the optional finisher, no card is actually over a rare, and most are actually commons. Crazily enough, even for Krill. I guess the snare is rare.
The snare, yeah.
That's pretty much it, and even that can be replaced if needed.
Yeah.
Another option for just assisting your red and green mana just a little bit more can be replacing Krill for either Torcons or even Kamikaze Chainsaw Warriors that both fit the same purpose. They're
Or
just
Comet Missile.
and Comet Missile, yeah. Well, I mentioned Comet Missile earlier, so I was just like for creature count, yeah.
You only need the one nature target for the 11 nature cards. So if you're running 3 Coral, it would probably be better to go 2 fire, 1 nature.
Sure. Yeah, well, they'll figure that out by themselves. Can't hand feed them. Other options over Corral also could include Cook Pollens, just for the anti-rush matchup.
You could also consider just running the 5th mana Nexus and just hope you don't get deck checked.
Yes.
So if you're looking to get into the Duel Masters TCG, but your budget is restricting, or you're finding it a bit challenging to get your hands on some cards, this deck's definitely a good place to start. This is definitely it's a very competitive entry-level deck if you're looking into getting into the game. To anyone in Australia who's looking to get back into this fantastic, glorious game of Duel Masters, if you'd like any help getting back into the game, please reach out to us, and we're more than happy to assist you guys.
If you are keen on coming down to play with us, we do play in Grand J Games in Essendon every week or so, whenever we can. So, yeah.
Coming down, 69 Rose Street, Grand J Games.
Nice.
There's some Duel Masters. EK. Yes.